It is honestly quite sad and quite embarrassing that right now, the problem that Black Americans are literally facing is from immigrants, honestly. And the most annoying part is the fact that they're African immigrants. The one that is not getting it more annoyed, that is getting me more annoyed, that is getting me more embarrassed and getting me more pissed off is the fact that most of them are from Nigerians. And as a Nigerian woman, to be honest, I'm literally not proud of these African immigrants. Because I keep saying it in my videos, right? Because this thing is coming from my own end doesn't mean I should support wrong thing. Just look at what you're about to watch. And that is why I don't even blame Black Americans when they come up here to be like, they don't want to associate themselves with anything Africans. In fact, I don't even literally blame Black Americans when they come up to call Nigerians names. Because these are the kind of people that are disgracing Nigerians. These are the kind of people that are rubbing our names that we have successfully built into the mud. And at the end of the day, you want Black Americans to come out for you. You want Black Americans to support you. You want Black Americans to back you up. I'm so disappointed, honestly. So all African immigrants, especially my own country, Nigeria. And I just hope a lot of them that are living in the US watch this particular video and let me know their honest opinion if this is actually good. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Sonia. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. And credit belongs to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. I want to say a very big thank you to every single one of you supporting, liking, commenting, and also sharing my videos, joining my membership, and also dropping super thanks. I appreciate you guys. I do not take you guys for granted. With that being said, let's dive right into this video so that you guys can see how my own country is actually disgracing me online. And I'll be back with commentaries.
Where are you from?
Here we go.
I'm from England. No, where are you actually from? Oh, I'm from Nigeria. Oh. Okay. I'm from America. Well, actually, I'm from Chicago. You're actually from though? Chicago. No, for real? Bro, I'm actually from Chicago. Why'd you keep asking? Okay, man, because you don't know where you're from.
And they wonder why we stay checking them. They wonder why. You trying to be funny talking about, oh, if you ask a UK person, a British black person where they from, they know where they're from. But if you ask a Black American where they from, they don't know. First of all, majority of y'all over in Great Britain are first generation, maybe second generation Caribbean and Africans. So y'all literally have aunties and grandmas and whoever else over on the continent of Africa. Let me give y'all a little bit of backstory about Nigeria, because y'all keep saying we're West African and we're Nigerian and this and that. Nigerian was not even established until 1960 as an independent country. 1960. That's literally 4 years before we got civil rights passed. We were marching, fighting. We had communities. We had cities. We had schools. We were doing our big one in the United States of America, and y'all wasn't even a damn country yet. Hold on, let me read something for you right quick. Nigeria, as a unified nation state, was founded in 1914 when the British amalgamated the northern and southern protectorates into the colony and protectorates of Nigeria, but it gained full independence from British colonial rule on October 1st, 1960. And you can pause to read the rest. So your country, the set that you rep, is barely 65 years old. The United States of America was founded in 1776, 75, 76. Centuries, a century and change, 2 centuries before Nigeria was established as a country, before it was even discovered. And Nigeria was named by a British pale-faced lady named Flora Shaw. And y'all getting up here saying, oh, well, we know where we from. Baby, we can trace our lineage back way further than you can. And Black Americans, even if y'all want to go by the indoctrinated version of the cave-dwelling history, we have been in this country for 500 years. We've been here since before it was established as the United States of America. So we are actual native to the United States of America. Our ancestors are buried on this soil. Half of you Nigerians, majority of y'all over there on the continent in them 54 countries cannot trace your lineage back. Y'all get up here and say, we don't know our grandparents. No, y'all don't know y'all's. Y'all don't even use each other's real names. A lot of y'all don't really know where you're from. Y'all don't know. It's projection. We know where we're from. If one of us say we're from New York, or we're from Chicago, or we're from Mississippi, or we're from Georgia, that's where we're from. Either in the northern states, 9 times out of 10, because my great granny, she migrated from Augusta, Georgia, up to New York City. So now, and my grandmother, on my dad's side, my granddad's from Virginia, my grandmom was from South Carolina, and they migrated to Brooklyn, New York, and that's how my mom met my dad. It's utterly, it's disrespectful and it's played out. And when we get up here and we be saying, y'all always talking about us, y'all been saying this, y'all been popping it. Y'all say we don't know where we come from. Y'all say we don't have no culture. Y'all say we lazy. Y'all talk so much shit about us. And we finally entered the chat and started to say something back. And now y'all making it seem like we're xenophobic and we trying to start a diaspora war. Why is it that y'all get to continuously say these things about us? We know where we come from way more than you do. I could literally pull up my ancestral records quicker than you can. You a Nigerian guy in this video. So it ain't no, they don't know where they come from. No, we know where we come from. If you can say you're from Nigeria, that didn't become a independent country until 1960, then you need to shut the fuck up when I tell you I'm from Brooklyn, New York, or I'm just from the United States, period. You need to shut the fuck up. Because you don't know. I bet my bottom dollar, y'all do not know where your family was at before 1960. Before your family was in Nigeria, you don't know where the hell they was at. Spread love is the Brooklyn way.
Oh, I'm from England.
Now, where you actually from?
Oh, I'm from Nigeria.
Oh, okay.
I'm from America.
Well, actually,
Oh, I'm from Chicago.
you actually from, though?
Chicago.
No, for real?
Bro, I'm actually from Chicago. Why'd you keep asking?
Don't get mad at me because you don't know where you're from.
They say that the American education system is bad, but I'm really starting to see that the United Kingdom, England, whatever, is their education system seems to be worse. Because I don't know how many times we've had to explain this. The history of the Black immigrants that come to the UK, to England, any part of that island, is not the same as the history of Black American people in the United States, okay? Our histories are not the same. We are not immigrants here. When you guys come to England, you're coming there directly from some country, more than likely in Africa. A lot of times y'all are coming from the Caribbean, who has similar history to us, right? But yet y'all don't question them. We literally can only trace our roots in the United States. There is no other country. There is no other place. There isn't anything else for us to connect to. So all of this, you don't get mad at me because you don't know where you're from. How can I not know where I'm from when I know myself more than anybody knows myself? I know my history more than anybody knows my history. How? Just because, see, y'all think that everybody is supposed to center Africa. Everybody who's melanated is supposed to center Africa. And that's just not the case. So yeah, people do get mad when you keep pressing and trying to get them to mention some random ass country that they don't know anything about, that they've never been to. Like I'm just supposed to take a dart and just throw it at the map of Africa and say, oh yeah, here's where I'm from. I don't know nothing about them people over there. We are American, and that's it, and that's okay. Why is that so hard?
Why are Black British people offended anytime an American comes online and talks about British food, especially Black Americans? Whenever a Black American is coming online to talk about British food, we're never talking about Black or Asian food.
Do you understand the concept of nationality versus race? So Black Brits are British by nationality and Black by race. So therefore, we enjoy our national dishes and national cuisines and regional cuisines, but also the ethnic foods that we have through our ethnic heritage and the ethnicities that we are racialized in the UK by. Like, does that make sense to you? Or is that something that is really, really difficult for you to understand? Because I feel like that's a very simple concept, but it seems to be so difficult to grasp and so painful to grasp. I don't understand why. I don't understand why you guys care in the first place, because I really don't care whether you do or don't eat your regional food regardless of your race in America. Like, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't go on in my head. It doesn't keep me up at night, but it seems to just keep you guys tossing and turning. And this whole thing, even if we didn't eat our regional foods, which, as I've explained, we do eat our regional and national dishes, even if we didn't, the way that cultures mingle in the UK must be very different to the way that segregation happens in the US, where no one seems to want to interact with anyone and everyone's enemy, and you can't eat anyone else's food or else I don't know what will happen in the US. But it's like in Tanzania, right? There's a massive South Asian population. If I was to start shitting on South Asian food and saying I hate chapatis and pilau rice and samosas, a lot of black Tanzanians would be angry at me, because they'll be like, you're talking about my food. Me telling them I'm not talking about your food doesn't make any sense, because it is food they have all the time, so therefore it is their food. Like, let's use some basic logical thinking. It doesn't even, if Johnny has 2 apples and one of them is from India and one of them is from the UK, and he eats them both, they're both his fucking apples. Okay? Like, it's not difficult. It's not difficult.
When I'm talking about British food, it's never black or Asian food. It's traditional British food. You never see us defending the raisins and potato salads or those god-awful weird Midwestern salads with jello, cheese, and fruit. That's not a black American culture or food. But black British people are always the loudest ones offended why this isn't your food.
The racial dynamics in the US, where apparently some of you guys love to live in complete segregation and isolation and hate anything that white Americans do, does not translate into the UK. A lot of us grew up either in suburbs. I grew up in a suburb where it was primarily white, and so therefore I was socialized around a lot of white people, or grew up in cities which, like New York, have a wide range of people from different backgrounds, so celebrate diversity. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, I think it's a very basic concept that if you grow up around different groups of people, you will be more likely to interact with them in positive ways. And of course, racism is rampant in the UK. No one is denying that. But there are also many good, nice white people. Like, I don't know if that's difficult for you guys to understand or what. I don't get it.
And mingled with Brits from all classes. And the through line was, no matter what class they came from, same normalized xenophobic views on America. And those views have become so normalized culturally for British people. Like the audacity of British people to call us dumb.
It's also not xenophobic to critique the ignorance of Americans who are a globally dominant country when they're being ignorant and showing their ignorance like you are. That's not what xenophobia means or is used to mean in general discourse about xenophobia and why it's problematic.
You don't share class consciousness with white British person because you're in the same class, because you're still black. But
the average Brit would hear this and deduce that you don't even have a fundamental baseline knowledge of class consciousness in the first place to be able to then judge someone else's idea of class consciousness. Because class exists outside of race in both the UK and the US. It just seems like people from the US don't understand that class operates with and without race. Like, I don't understand how that's so difficult to understand.
You guys seem to align with a white British identity over your black one.
I feel like there are certain black Americans that feel a need for us to constantly remind them that we know that white people are racist. And I just want those specific group of black Americans to know that we don't speak about racism in the UK for the approval of black American people. We speak about racism to deconstruct it because it's an issue, not because it's a part of our identity as black people. We don't need to perform racial oppression for the benefit of black Americans. Like, we understand how we're racially oppressed. We go about it differently culturally. That's fine, that's relevant. And there's not one way to be properly black or be properly oppressed. And this incessant need of black Americans to dictate how black people globally experience their racial oppression is anti-black, and it's rooted in this American exceptionalism.
Poor white people in America and the UK are the ones who hate immigrants, black people, and are voting against our existence. Yet somehow you seek solidarity with them. And we know better because we are from America and we have always been reminded of this. You are recent in the UK and seem to still want to achieve assimilation, and that shows.
I feel like I've explained this before, but nationality of Black Brits is British. Bingo, you got it. And the race of Black Brits is Black. Well done. Okay, that is intersectionality, or one example of it. And I just feel like it's so simple. But if you don't get it, it's fine, because you personally do not have any requirement to interact with or make videos about Black Brits. If they upset you, bother you, hurt your feelings, make your chest hurt, keep you awake at night, stress you out so much as they seem to. Because outside of Black Americans making weird anti-Black comments online, I never check negatively for Black Americans. I have nothing bad to say about them. I love Black American culture. I love Black American celebrities, love Black American accents. I love Black American ideologies, many of them. I love Black American discourse. There's nothing for me to personally hate. If you hate Black British people, or that's the content that you thrive off of making, that's up to you. Genuinely, honestly, from the bottom of your heart, if that's what you like, then you find your passions. But if it's really stressing you to this level, talk about something else. I don't know. Talk about what makes you so happy about your culture. Maybe that will be for the best. And I am no longer talking about this for a while because it's just boring. Like, I feel like I've baby spoon-fed so many people like very simple concepts, and I'm ready to move on and talk about more interesting things. So, mwah.
You know, my heart is truly saddened for the Black Americans who refuse to accept the truth that they are of African descent.
Here we go.
Y'all have created, I guess, a new race amongst yourself to make you feel better. You can run from the truth, but the truth will always be that everybody who considers themselves Black American are Africans.
No.
You are an African.
Girl, no.
And Black people choosing to wear ignorance as a badge of honor is the very thing that keeps Black people stuck.
Girl, you know, my heart is truly saddened that we still have to continuously have this conversation time and time again. Black Americans are not African. We have not, if you want to say that we have a distant ancestor from Africa, we are so far removed that we literally are different. Let me show you. We've been through something called an ethnogenesis. And I also want to break down how many generations it takes for you to be genetically different. Let me show you something. I'll be right back. Give me 2 seconds. Ethnogenesis, the formation of a new ethnic group, isn't about a fixed number of generations, but depends heavily on social, cultural, and environmental factors, potentially taken as little as a single generation, a few years under intense pressure, like a shared enemy, catalyst, or longer, with some studies suggesting new identity can solidify with 3 to 4 generations with distinct cultural markers and, I don't know how to pronounce this word, endogamy, I don't know, marrying within the group. It's more about a perfect storm of identity shift, not a genetic timeline. Now, let's get to the next slide. How many generations does it take to not be related? You're never truly not related if you go back far enough, like a 1,000+ years, as everyone shares common ancestors. But genetically, after about 8 to 10 generations, 250 to 300 years, there's a high chance you'll share no DNA from many specific ancestors, with genetic contributions becoming diluted to almost nothing, making you practically unrelated in a genetic sense. For practical DNA testing, 9+ generations back, like the 8th great grandparents, often means you're considered genetically distant or unrelated. 8 to 10 generations to not be related. How many generations, if we just going by the indoctrinated version of history, because y'all love what the YT taught y'all love it. So we just going to go by what the YT taught. How many generations have Black people been in America according to the indoctrinated version of history that we learned? Black people have been in America for around 12 to 14 generations. For the majority of those who are descendants of the slave trade, the first documented enslaved African arrived in the English colonies in 1619. Child, I'll be right back. Give me a second. It takes how many generations to not be related? 8 to 10. And how many generations have we been allegedly in the United States of America. 12 to 14 or something like that. We are not African. Even if you want to say that, if you want to believe the transatlantic slave, if you want to believe the straight out of Africa theory, which is a theory, which is a hypothesis, which is an idea, which is an educated guess. If you want to believe that, we are still no longer African people after 12 to 14 generations. And we're going to just say this. A lot of us were even here even before that. You all like to make jokes. Ma'am, you probably African off the continent, from a continental African. You all, not all, like to make jokes and say that we're slave babies and we're grape babies and massa came and was graping. So clearly we have a little bit of everything going on inside of us genetically. Some of us have some European up in there. Some of us are just indigenous, Afro-indigenous, mixed with a little, some of us are mixed with the Siberian indigenous, Native American, not indigenous, sorry. Like, come on, bruv. We're not African people, and it's very disrespectful to continuously try to force us to identify as a group of people that we have nothing in common with except for the same hue of complexion. Culturally, we're not the same. Maybe share a little bit of similarities. Absolutely, we share similarities with everybody all over the world. We eat rice. They eat rice dishes. They got, what is it called? Paella, the rice dish in Latin America. Y'all don't go to anybody else and force and harass them to identify as African. Now, once again, look back at the video that I just did. Look at this video. Rewind it. Watch it as many times as you need to. Even if you want to go by the indoctrinated version of history, the average Black American with a long lineage here that doesn't have an immigrant background is not a continental African, baby. If I were to go over to Africa, I would need all types of jab shots, vaccinations, all types of stuff. I wouldn't be able to drink the water. The climate probably wouldn't be befitting to me. Genetically, I am different, and that is okay. Leave us the fuck alone. Y'all don't do this to anybody else. Y'all are not harassing Jamaicans. Y'all are not harassing Brazilians that has one of the largest Afro populations in the Americas. Y'all ain't harassing them people, telling them they African, telling them they don't know who they are. Us here in the United States of America, we could actually successfully trace our lineage back way more than the average continental African could. They lie and say we don't know our grandparents, we don't know our great. I grew up knowing my great-great-grandmother. I went to see her every single year of my life in Glasscock County in Georgia. I was raised by my great-grandmother in Brooklyn, New York. She was from Glasscock County, Georgia. Y'all get up here and tell these lies. It's nothing but projection. If you are African, be African. Stop forcing us. We're not. We've been here a lot of generations, even if you want to go by what the YT said. We are not continental Africans, and that's okay. Spread love is the Brooklyn way. If Johnny had 5 apples, bitch, it gets to a point, leave us alone.
Are furious. And it is a sign of jealousy that Black Americans cannot be deported anywhere. They're untouchable. They're untouchable. You have to understand, and you have to agree the truth. Man, Black Americans have done nothing to you. They welcomed you with both hands. They welcomed everyone. They fed everyone. They supported everyone. They supported every business. They supported every move. But then what they received back, man, it's not something good. It's not really something good. Even if there is no love, even if there is no any, you don't feel that, just respect. Have respect to those people who receive you in the country. Because we know some other countries where you can just move to, man, and you can't make it. You can't even succeed. But immigrants come to the United States, they succeed. They get richer, they get money, they get everything. And then, you know, they pay back to the host, to the people who received you. You say they are lazy, they don't know how to work. We shouldn't have behaved like that. At least you should have appreciated people who received you. You should have appreciated that simple action. Just appreciation and respect. That's what the Black Americans need. Appreciation and respect. In every society, respect You respect others, they respect you. But then after that, you wish them to be deported. Where? Where? Because you, the immigrants, you have migrated from somewhere. That's the meaning of immigrants. You have migrated from somewhere here. Why do you want people who are born from there, they own ancestral lands there, and you want them to be deported? Man, that's nonsense. It seems that the good thing the Black Americans do to immigrants, it always backfires them. And then immigrants come to the United States and then they always claim different parts of the United States as theirs. Some immigrants in the United States are furious that Black Americans cannot be deported. Man, I thought it was jokes. People have ignored the truth. Maybe they don't even know that, or they have ignored the reality. They still claim why Black Americans cannot be deported. They don't know the history. They don't want to read. They don't even care. For them, they want Black Americans to be deported no matter what. They found out that it is impossible. It's not possible to just deport Black Americans like the way they deport others. It started when the Latinos were questioning why Black Americans can't be deported. Mexicans, same. Africans, same. Saying that, oh, we're the same with Black Americans. Why can't Black Americans be deported? They always in that delusion of thinking that Black Americans have same status as other immigrants, which is not the truth. Black Americans have supported everybody. Let's put respect on those people. People, they see that Black Americans, why are not getting deported? Why? What's behind that? They always point that you're going to be the next. You Black Americans, you're going to be the next. But then they found out Black Americans cannot be deported. People should have done their research. Because telling Black Americans that you're the next, man, it's like you're ignoring the reality. You're ignoring what's real. For you, you are using your emotions. Your emotions are controlling you, feeling that, man, if I'm being targeted to be deported, so the Black Americans have to be deported too, which is impossible. You forget that Black Americans have put a stone in the foundation of the country.
I have a genuine question for Black British people. Why do you guys hate Black Americans so much? Like, this is a genuine question. Every single interview clip I see on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, it's always something really ignorant toward Black Americans. And I know you guys like to tussle, and the number one thing you guys say is you don't know where you come from. It's almost as if you guys don't know history whatsoever. This is a genuine question, and this is not all of you guys, because I've met and I know plenty of Black amazing people from the UK, but it's a handful of just straight ignorance towards Americans and like resentment, animosity. Can someone please explain this phenomenon? Because I'm not getting it. Why is there so much hate towards Black Americans?
I always find it so funny how a lot of African immigrants, especially African men, most especially Nigerian African men who live in America, always have some type of criticism, something negative about America, yet having the audacity to still live in America. You're an immigrant from Africa, and you're talking shit about America and Americans, and you're still living in America. And they be saying dumbass shit like, for example, every time that our women come to America from Nigeria, they start misbehaving, they start doing this, and they start, there's something about America that will just scatter your family. And this American women, there's something about American women. My brother, if you're going to be marrying a woman in Nigeria, make sure you don't bring her here, because when she gets here and she starts networking, and then she start finding out how women are doing this and that, she will leave you. These same biscuit and granite heads also lack the emotional intelligence and the intellect and the humility to ask themselves why. A lot of y'all are so delusional to think that Africa, specifically Nigeria, is ideal. But if Nigeria was ideal, what the fuck are you doing in the West? Why not stay in your village? Why are you running to America by fire by force? The average Nigerian is looking for a way to Japa, to Obodo Yibo, the place that has problem. Why is it that a lot of these men and women, but especially even women, are looking so desperately to come to America as a safe haven? Why? Most especially you. Why are you in America yet you are criticized? Why not be in your village? I thought that your village is the most ideal. Don't get me wrong, like I mentioned before, there's problems in this world. No matter where you go to, there's some fuck shit. In America, fuck shit. Africa, fuck shit. Australia, fuck shit. China is just the way it is. The devil was cast down to earth. It wasn't cast down to just Nigeria. It wasn't cast down to America. It wasn't cast down to New Zealand. The devil was cast down to earth. This is earth. And as a result, there is fuck shit everywhere you go. But the audacity for you to be talking shit about somebody else's home, yet you live in that person's home. Hey, for that. I could understand if it was somebody who was still in Africa or somebody who was in Nigeria specifically, and you're talking shit about somebody else's country. I understand that, not a problem. Humans are very opinionated. But let it be that you are in your own country and you're criticizing somebody else's country. But the audacity for you to leave your own country to somebody else's country to talk shit. One, look at yourself in the middle. Nada.
Bro, this is not the flex that you think it is. You're just showing how much you don't understand how the United States uses immigrants from any country of any skin color as a wedge against the Black American community, and that you don't see how effective anti-Black disinformation and misinformation is at getting immigrants to align themselves with whiteness, which history is full of examples of when this has been done to the detriment of Asians. And while we're on the topic, both communities have diaspora wars and have conflict between their genders. And who do you think is benefiting from that, if that's not also about getting people to align with whiteness against their own self-interest?
Only when we arrived here, then we see it for ourselves what we see.
So you follow the white supremacist mindset when you guys got here. That's what I'm hearing.
What is that?
Because I mean the hatred that's put upon or frowned upon, Black Americans.
By who?
What?
No, by Africans?
Africans,
Oh,
people
okay.
of Caribbean. My father's Jamaican.
Oh, no,
I hear it in that household too,
Yes,
brother.
yes.
So
I know
there's not coming over here and then saying, embracing, hey, I got a Black brother, I have a Black sister.
Yeah.
It's more like, oh, I heard what they said.
Oh, yeah.
And I agree with them.
Yes.
Y'all some niggas over there.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yes.
that's the problem.
In one of my episodes, I ended it by saying, I talk about how we started worshiping African Americans when we were in Africa. All my classmates, you are not going to have a name. You pick one of the movie names. I knew about Isaac Hayes, the Black Moses. I met him when I came here. It's like a legend standing in front of me. Okay. So we copied African Americans before we came here. Right. I ended the episode by saying, when we got here, we stay away from you because we see too much of us in you. So now, here is what I was saying from the beginning. Why don't you ask me why, when you arrive here, you don't unite with us? Then you concluding that you hate us, white supremacy's talking point. Well, our eyes can see things. So ask me, why is it so?
Yeah,
And I will ask you, how many times have you tried to go visit us on the continent?
Oh, well, if my resources was as good as...
You rich than I am.
How?
You're not? Okay.
How?
You're flashy, by the way.
How?
Fine.
What's flashy?
It's the leather pants.
Oh,
It's the leather pants.
Okay. At $16.99 H&M, go get you a pair. You know what I'm saying, my brother? Just because I'm stylish don't mean nothing.
You're stylish. You're stylish. Look, what I'm trying to say is this. I'm not afraid. I ended the episode by saying, I loved African Americans. When I was coming here, I'm telling you the truth. My mom, my dad, my people, nobody told me stay away. Do you know my first wife is an African American? She's now the superintendent of schools here.
So when did that change then?
When we arrived here, we saw too much of us in you and we stayed away.
What do you mean by that?
Huh?
What do you
When
mean
you
by
say
that?
too much of us and you, specific.
The violence, the meanness, Rwanda, Sierra Leone, Liberia, the killing of each other, the dishonesty, the anger.
So I've been noticing a lot of talk about FBAs or indigenous people saying, hey, if Africa is so great, why do y'all come to America? I want to respond to that. But before I do, I want you to notice that you never see older African people who live in the United States. You don't see them in nursing homes or long-term facilities. You do not see them. I'm going to explain to you why. The first thing you must know is how economics works. I will say I've been to Ghana. As you know, my husband is Ghanaian. I've been multiple times. My kids have gone. We actually just came back in December. Let me tell you how this works. One American dollar is approximately 16 CDs. Okay? So for every $1 is 16 CDs for them. What is nothing to us is a lot for them. For instance, most people will make anywhere between $200 to $300 a month, and that is considered a good living, an acceptable living. You also have to understand that most people have family land. So you have a place to stay. You build your homes. By the way, their homes are built out of cement, guys. And you live on your compound with your family. You live off of the land unless you live in Accra. If you live in Accra, you usually have farmland outside of the city. And you will sell things inside. Oftentimes people will sell products and things that they buy wholesale and sell them, for a profit in marketplaces and such forth. Okay? But for the most part, that you're able to live off of your land. So, basic economics is you come to the United States to make the American dollar. You send that money home or you visit home and you build your compound. Okay? And when I'm talking about you build your home, baby, think about those homes in California. It looks like that. Quality, so much better than ours. So much better than ours, okay? You take your American dollar, you invest it back into Ghana, okay? So you build your nice house, your nice compound, whatever you want. You ship your cars over there. They even have a Ghanaian car. It's equivalent to $10,000 to $15,000 American. That's it. Yeah, they have their own cars. Okay. Also, for about same $200 a month, you can have a driver, just as long as you supply the car. You can have a house person who assists you. And also, medical is so different. There, they have lots of pharmacies. In the pharmacy, you can walk up, tell them your symptoms or what you would like to have. They tell you what it is, and they will give you the medicine right then and there. I will give you an example. At the marketplace, I went to a pharmacy. I said I wanted antibiotics. It was 500 milligrams of antibiotics. It was 10 boxes in a case. It was 15 pills each. And that was equivalent to $10. If you know, you know. And that goes for any medication. Okay? So once again, they'll come to America. They'll get the American dollars. They will set up businesses, build their homes, all off of the American dollar. They will set up their families, the whole 9 yards, okay? When it is time for them to retire, they will then go home. The reason you go home is easier. Home is relaxed. You now have American dollars. You have your Social Security. If you have a 401k, some savings, you don't need a lot to live there. And they will retire home, where even if you have an elderly person, you can pay someone to stay there and to take care of them. And then 2, you are surrounded by family as well. So the question is, if it's so great in Africa, why do they come to America? Just like any other country? Economics. But notice they do not stay. Notice they do not stay. And that should have been the bigger thing you paid attention to, is why don't they stay? Not why do they come? Hopefully, we end that kind of discussion, okay? I also will say, if you Google or Mozilla or Firefox, because remember, we're not promoting Google, the homes, especially like in Ghana, what it's going to show you is not the homes. It is going to show you the marketplaces. Y'all are thinking that these are their homes. It does not show you online their homes, and that is for a very good reason, because they do not want the international community to know
what it looks like on purpose. This is another reason why travel is so important. Guys, what you are seeing online when you Google, especially if you Google Ghanaian homes, it is going to show you the marketplaces. That is not where people live. Just an FYI.
Anyways, welcome back again, guys, and I hope you guys have seen all of that video. And I can tell you for the whole fact that as a Nigerian person, I'm actually not proud of some of these African immigrants coming online bashing Black Americans, especially Nigerians. I'll still repeat it, and it's that bad, honestly. As a Nigerian, it breaks my heart so much that the people that they are supposed to support, the people they are supposed to stand for, the people they are supposed to at least help, is not the people that a lot of these African immigrants bash a lot. I'm not saying other countries are not bashing Black Americans. Other countries do bash Black Americans, but unlike, if you think I'm joking, go to TikTok and browse about Black Americans and Africans. You cannot scroll past 3 reasonable videos without seeing a Nigerian person, a Nigerian content creator also bashing, always asking them they do not have culture, always telling them they do not have culture, blah, 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 east, west, north, and south. So I just want to ask a very quick question, and that question is, what really has Black Americans done to African immigrants for them to deserve every single thing that they are seeing online? Is either they are indirectly or directly mocking them, or spitting into their face, telling them that, yeah, we do not want you people. I even have to do a TikTok video on my TikTok account where I literally said, why do African immigrants love to idolize white folks instead of Black Americans that literally built America? A lot of them, I don't know if traveling to America is not enough for them to get sense or get a lot of information that they are supposed to get. It is that bad. It is that bad that whenever they want to talk to Black Americans, they don't look, they don't even think, they don't reason, they just go ahead, say whatsoever they want to say, and then move their way. It gets to the point, I actually saw a particular video where an African guy was saying, instead of him to like Black Americans, he would prefer to like white folks. I'm not saying you should not. Everybody have their choice, right? I see a lot of Black Americans content creator as well that channel all their attention to white folks. They will tell you that their Black Americans are literally the problem. So I don't have an issue with whatsoever you are choosing or whatsoever you decide to choose. But I have an issue with the fact that you, as a human being, look at your skin color. Do research and see what these people have literally gone through. If you don't like them, it's fine. They're not begging you to like them. But why not just keep quiet and mind your business instead of always coming out for Black Americans? Instead of always making it look as if Black Americans are your problem. The people that built the country are your problem. Is either you are insulting them, telling them hateful words, indirectly or directly. But you are still in this said country. You are still in that particular country. You have not decided that, okay, since this place is not favorable to me, let me leave. No, you haven't. You cannot even try it because you know where you are coming from. But is it too hard? Is it too difficult for you to understand and respect the people that built this country? Is that too hard for you? What is even the main issue? Why do you people idolize white folks so much as immigrants, African immigrants? And you just ignore the people that fought for the freedom of this country, the people that stood, the people that undergoes through slavery, segregation, Jim Crow, name it. What has these people not literally been? So even if not for anything, just for the sake of what these people has been through, is it not enough reason for you as an African immigrant that moved to America to at least respect them? Because if not for their sake, you will not be there. Take it or leave it. You cannot, a lot of you will come to my comment section right now and argue it. But before you argue, go and do your research. It's bad. It's bad. Anyways, let me know what you think about this video. Credit belongs to the original creator of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. If you have not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Do it, subscribe, like this video, drop me your comment, and lastly, do not forget to share for every other person to get this good news. And yes, guys, with that being said, with no further ado, I do like I say in my videos, I want to say bye and I'll see you guys in my next one. Do not forget that credit belongs to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. I just want to get your common answer why you so much dislike Black American, especially as an African immigrant. If possible, Nigerian to be precise. I want to know.